Big Jeff from BigJeffAudio.com here. We have another unboxing. Marts Digital version 2. We're the only ones with version 2 right now.
This way you can see it before you buy it.
And what we got here is a 30,000 watt amp. Yes, 30,000. Actually do more than that. Rating on this thing at 1 ohm is 35,000 watts, and even at 2 ohm, if you have impedance rise, there's 25,000 watts. We're gonna unbox this, take a look at it, and later down the road, we're gonna try to get a diode, but most diodes only go to about 10 to 15,000 watts, but you're gonna at least get to see this thing up close with another unboxing. Make sure you hit the like button, share this out, and if you haven't done already, subscribe to our channel and hit that bell. So anytime we have a video, you'll know about it. Let's open this thing up. God, it's huge. Huge. All right. First thing you see is they box this up pretty good. Look, we don't need that. We got a manual here. Huge mark sticker. Caution card. Probably make sure you use copper wire, have an upgraded battery, alternators, and everything else. Don't just put this in a factory setup. And then really cool, which is one of the bigger things about the version 2, which is one of your biggest complaints on the original run of Marts Digital amp, was a cheap bass knob. Well, not no more. Look at that bad boy right there. You gotta use a Cat 5 cable, which it comes with. This will do it all. Voltage, temp, power, protect, clip. Really nice dial here. This thing is one of the biggest changes on the version 2. Now, how expensive is this? And as we open this up, it's gonna look like a Korean amp, but it's not. And that's why you can get a 30,000 watt amp for under $3 grand. Yeah. All right, looks like we have Allen wrenches for the power and the speaker. Some screws, but I probably wouldn't use these screws. So there's something this big, you're probably gonna wanna do something different. Okay, first thing I wanna do before we take this out, we're gonna talk about it just a little bit. I'm gonna close this back up because I wanna get the weight. We're gonna pull it out, we're gonna get the dimensions. These unboxings are meant for you to know exactly what you're buying before you buy it. Okay. Well, first thing is, you better have some major power. And these are oversized 0-gauge inputs. And recommended fusing, because it does not come with fuses, is total 850 amps. 1 ohm, you're not recommended going to half an ohm. I've seen them do it, but you will avoid the warranty. Fan cooled. Let's get to some of the specs here. RMS at 4 ohm is 18,000. RMS at 2 ohm is 25,000. RMS at 1 ohm, 35,000. And that's rating at 14.4 volts, 10% THD. That's a lot of power for $3,000. You basically got $1 a watt, a penny a watt. Yeah, that's crazy. Let's see how much this thing weighs for. Oh, so. All right, we got a scale over here. It's kind of hard for you to see, but total weight with packaging is 31 pounds. We are in our new test center, our second warehouse location. And as you can see, it's really cool. Awesome lighting. I'm gonna take all the stuff out to get you to the amplifier. Oh, man. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and put the lock down. Okay. Definitely a large amp. 30 pounds. Now, there's always a misconception when they first launched a year ago. These are not Brazilian amps. They're designed in Brazil. They're produced in China. Woo! Okay, first thing we want to look at. Let's get a camera from the side. I'm gonna grab a camera here. Y'all ain't gonna see it in a second. There you go. Okay. Right here is one of the first improvements. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 inputs and they're stepped out. So some people like that, some people don't. But to go long ways would have took this amp that way. So oversized 0 gauge. The bottom ones are wide enough that you might be able to do dual up. Not sure they'll work at the top, but from my understanding for them, the factory says as long as you're using 4 copper 1-ounce, you should be fine with this amp. Next thing over here, I want you to look at on the front, really cool up front. You have the volts, power, clip, and protect. That's really cool, so you can just look at the amp if you're back there and see what your voltage is. But you can also do that up front with your new awesome bass knob. These amps will display the voltage, clipping, so tuning will help, protect, and the power light here. All right, let's look from the side here. First big upgrade in all the Marts V2, Tiffany style RCA. Some people might still complain that there's just one output per speaker, but they are oversized 8 gauge, so you can go off of that. And then you have your gain control. Now, MXD is their full range. MXD is their bass amp. MXD full range, so I still recommend using a DSP or external crossover. You do have gain control, and you still have like a crossover high and low setting. But when you're stepping up something like this, you should have a DSP in there anyway. Okay, let's look at some dimensions. Hey! All right, we're gonna go footprint from the length where you screw it down from. And this is exactly 35 inches and a quarter. The amp itself is 34 and a quarter, but for the mounting legs, 35 and a quarter. You are right at 9.5, just shy, if we go really exact. Nope, 9 1/4, top to bottom. And then you're gonna need 2 3/4 that height there. Okay, pretty standard size, but for an amp that does 35,000 watts, if you could supply the power, I think it's a good footprint because I've worked with other amplifiers before that were way bigger, longer, and fatter. Definitely do not do this at home, but being that we are Marts distributor, we're gonna crack that open. Where are you gonna get 35,000 watts capable? Where are you gonna get 35,000 watts capable? Now again, proper power, batteries, everything else for $3,000. Now, if you don't supply these amps with proper storage power, charging amperage, and using real good copper wire, don't buy this amp. You cannot expect an amp of this size to do what it does without supply. It's like having a race car and not giving it race fuel. I got a BMW. I have to put 97 or higher, and if I don't, the car will run, but it'll start to run like crap, and it could shut itself down and maybe take it back to BMW. BMW is going to say, hey, you're running cheap gas, not the right octane, and that's going to screw up your warranty. Also, all these V2s, right here where you're not supposed to disconnect, I'm gonna sign this one, not because somebody's paying me to, but just so you know, this was brand new and used for the unboxing. These were all manufactured in China, 2024 January. That means these were just made and shipped directly to our warehouse. We're the only seller with the V2 stuff. Depending if we have, or other people have the regular version one, they're all on sale like 25% off. You get a great deal on that. Or if you like some of the upgrades, like the Tiffany style or the remote, and you want to pay the extra money, you can get them at bigjeffaudio.com. Woo! There's a lot going on there. So, never claimed to be an amp guy, technician, but I learned a lot over time. I asked J-Rod from Audio Pipe, how can you look at an amp and tell how much power to do? And the first thing he said is, it's all in the MOSFETs. The more the MOSFET chips, the more the amp will do. And this thing here has 16 on that side, 16 here, 7 there, and 7 there. That's a lot. And then he said also the capacitors have to be sized properly, and these things are huge. 820 UF, 400 volt. 11 of those. Now, it does have 2 fans that are controlled by temp, and then there's another fan here on the board, if you can see, right there, which will move air, which, understand, this is going to be the hottest area. So power comes in, runs through these transformers, does its thing, runs through the MOSFETs, and then the power goes out to the speaker level. Now, a couple things. Everything in here is really secure. I don't see it moving. And they got a ton of that goop in here. Vibration is the killer. I don't see this going to have an issue. And also the Tiffany style RCAs are solid. The only thing I guess people can complain about is the potentiometers, the gain and all that. It's still plastic, but total things you should be touching it nonstop, and you should be using an external DSP or crossover, so that shouldn't be an issue. The rest of this thing looks pretty solid. There you go. If you know more, can you please leave in the comments. Tell us what we're looking at here, and I'd love to respond to that. So we looked at the innards on this. You're seeing everything you get, including this really cool new bass knob. That was the biggest complaint. Not even the RCAs, was the bass knob, which is generic, but I don't know, a lot of people I think are using an external bass knob, but here you go. You can use this bass knob. Unfortunately, you can't do multiple amps on it. It's 1 per amp. So I don't know how many of these amps you're gonna need, but you would have to use a bass knob for each one. Okay, so this amp right here will do, if you have 14 volts or higher, it will kick it out up to 35,000 watts. If you're about 2 ohms, about 25,000, and at 4 ohms, still kicking out 18,000. So even if you're running a 4 ohm and getting 18,000 watts, which the amp would barely be running for $3,000, you're getting still a great deal. You can check these out, bigjeffaudio.com. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and hit the bell, and hopefully we do some more unboxings and you follow along in our journey. This is the MXD-30000 from Marts Digital version 2. We have it first, bigjeffaudio.com. I'll see you on the next video.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.